So you've spent decades in survival mode, trying to stay one step ahead of someone who made it their sole mission to control, to manipulate, and to tear you down. And if that wasn't enough, life kept handing you the same story with different faces on it. Different partners, different friends, even coworkers who mirrored that same toxic dynamic. And this wasn't bad luck. It wasn't because you attracted the wrong people. It's because you were trained to tolerate the intolerable. You see, when you grow up in an environment where love is conditional, where truth is rewritten to fit someone else's narrative, where you're the scapegoat 1 minute and the golden child the next, your entire system has to adjust to survive. You learn to overthink every single word before you spoke. You learned that your feelings weren't valid unless they served someone else. You learned that if you just did more, maybe if you just tolerated more, maybe if you forgave more, maybe, just maybe, you would finally be loved the way that you needed to be loved. You see, that pattern didn't disappear overnight just because you left home. Your brain kept repeating what it knew, even if it hurt you. Because somewhere deep inside, that chaos, the fucking chaos, it felt safer than peace. And then one day you did the bravest, the hardest thing you've ever done. You walked away. You finally said enough. You cut him off. And for the first time in your life, you were finally free. But the part that no one warns you about, that freedom, doesn't feel like freedom. It kind of feels like grief. It kind of feels like guilt, like a constant battle between knowing you did the right thing and still wondering if you were the problem all along. See, that's the thing with abuse, with emotional, mental, narcissistic abuse. It doesn't just end when you go no contact. Damage doesn't magically undo itself overnight. It lives in the way you second guess your own thoughts, and the way you feel like you have to explain yourself when no one's even asking, and the way you still crave closure from someone who was never capable of giving it. And this is what I would love for you to understand. You don't need closure. You don't need this person to finally admit what they did. You don't need anyone else to validate your experience. You just need to start living as the version of you that she never wanted you to become. One who doesn't shrink herself down to make others comfortable. The one who doesn't mistake red flags for challenges. The one who knows deep in her bones that she is fucking worthy. Not because of what she does for others, but because of who she is. Period. And that version of you, she doesn't explain herself to people committed to misunderstanding her. She doesn't chase love that has to be earned. She doesn't tolerate relationships that feel like emotional warfare. You want to know how to heal this? Do things differently. Stop letting your trauma pick your friends, your partners, your battles. You get real damn comfortable saying no without an apology, without an explanation, without feeling like you have to soften it for other people's comfort. You stop defending yourself to people who only want to twist your words. You stop waiting for your mother to change, to wake up, to see what she did, because she's not going to. And holding on to that hope is only keeping you tied to the past. You recognize that healing isn't a feeling, it's a choice. A choice that you make every single day when you refuse to let the past dictate how you show up in the present. And some days you're going to mess it up. You're going to let the wrong person back in. You're going to slip into old habits. You're going to feel that little girl inside of you begging for the love that she never got. And when that happens, you don't shame yourself. You catch yourself and you remind yourself of who the hell you are. And you course correct. Because healing isn't about perfection. It's about awareness. And as long as you keep moving forward, no matter how slow, no matter how messy, you're winning. So now you have a choice. You can sit with everything that you've just heard and nod along, feeling seen, feeling understood, and go back to life as usual. Or you can take this as a sign it's time to stop surviving and to start building the life you actually want. If you're ready to make sure that everything your mother tried to destroy never defines you again, I would love to have a chat with you. And you can schedule one by using the link that's down below in the description. You see, you didn't survive all of that just to spend the rest of your life healing. You survived it so that you could finally start living.